So this video is going to be about methods in Java, and these are the blocks of code that we build to be called at our whim's need. And there are two sort of types of methods that we're going to talk about. One in which the function just does the thing that it's told to do and doesn't give us an output. And the other in which we specify a type of data that is to be returned from that function, and then we get an output from it. So let's tackle the first of those two. When we write a function that does not return anything, we call it void. So we can say static void. And here static is just for the sake of demonstration. We're going to cover that keyword in an upcoming video. But for now, static void, we're marking the return type. Java always needs to know what something is. It's very picky about data types. And we're saying here that the function isn't returning anything. It's void. Then we name it, do the thing, followed by open close parentheses and curly brackets. Here the curly brackets signify the method body. And this is where we write our code. So here we'll go system.out.print did the thing. And then we can call the function in our main method, do the thing, by calling its name with the parentheses and a semicolon, do the thing. And then we can run our function. And to do that, we're going to right click and hit run with coverage. And this is just because of the way Android Studio is set up. And so we can see it clearly did the thing. Now, the parentheses here don't always have to be empty. The parentheses are actually where we add our parameters to the function. So we can write another function here, static void, what's my name? And here we'll give it an input. And what we're creating here is called a local variable. We're declaring a variable, a string, and we're calling it name. Now, this variable can only be accessed inside of the function itself. It won't make sense if it's used anywhere else in the code. Java won't allow it. So we can say system.out.print name. So now we can call our method. And in this case, we're going to have to specify a name. And so we give it the parameter Ted, right? We've declared a local variable name, and it's a string. So we have to give the function a string. Then it's taking that data and it's doing something with it. Here it's just printing it out. But if we run our function, we get our name, Ted. So now we can talk about functions with a return type. And we always have to specify that before our method. So we can say static, and now we have to mark whatever we're going to return. So if we were going to write a function to add two integers, we would return an int. We can call this add. Now we can give it some parameters, int a and int b. Notice when we have multiple parameters, we have to separate them with a comma. Now we can go on to our method body. So now let's declare another local variable. We'll call it sum. Int sum is equal to a plus b. Now we have to return something. It's showing us an error. So we can say return and then whatever variable we want to return, in this case, sum, followed by a semicolon. And so if we were to call this method, we could say system.out.print, and then we can call our function add and give it our parameters, which could be any integers, -4 and 132. Now we can run this, and we see 128. Remember that by convention, method names are lowercase, and Java always has to know what type is being returned. Even if it's nothing, you have to say void. Also notice that Java may not always allow certain variables to be added together. For example, you couldn't add a string and an integer together. That just wouldn't make sense, and Java won't allow it. Local variables are variables that we're declaring inside of our methods, and they are not accessible outside of our methods. These variables only make sense inside of our methods. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we're going to be talking about classes in Java. And these are the overall blueprints for how our code is structured.